Our penultimate school feature today is Truman State University, which finished with a 9-2 mark in 2022, finished runner-up in conference play at 5-1. The Bulldogs have been picked to finish runner-up this season in the GLVC preseason poll just released. Coming off their third straight America Cross Bowls title, joining us today is head coach Gregg Nesbitt, returns to his 14th season in Kirksville. Also joining us today is wide receiver Zach Zerwig, also junior defensive back Ben Miller. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. And Coach, give us a couple of comments on how the team is shaping up for this upcoming season.
Well, we've got a lot of veteran returning starters. I think 17 total, 17, 18, and you've got about 30 guys that played in pretty significant time a year ago. So we've got a good nucleus of returners, and it'll be interesting trying to blend the new kind of with the old as we hit training camp here in a couple weeks.
Oh, excellent. 9 of your starters are on the offensive side of the ball, including several all GLVC picks from 2022, as well as Zach sitting next to you. Give us a more detailed outlook on the Bulldogs' offense this season.
We'll return a veteran offensive line. We've got 6 guys that have been full-time starters and one other that's been a strong rotational guy. So we've got good returning experience there. You got a returning quarterback, a returning receiving core. We graduated Shamar Griffith, who came in as a graduate student, no longer just under 1,000 yards, I think, last year. So finding our stable of running backs early and who's going to get their touches there will be something for the fans and to keep their eye on. And right now, Denham Cook, who was our backup from Decatur, Illinois, a year ago, is slated to be the starter. We'll see if that holds up through training camp, and along with a bevy of other backs.
Excellent. Zach, how have you been preparing for this upcoming season as one of the leaders returning to the wideout position?
I think as like a whole, just the team in general too, with how I've been trying to be a leader this summer is what can we do all summer to condition? What are we doing? And just keep on stacking bricks like Coach Nez says, like every single day. Just get in, get your work in, and do it as a team. Like we'll all do this together, put the work in now. You look down the line as you're running 110s in the middle of the summer and know that that's your guy next to you and you're going to do whatever you have to do for that guy. And I think that just kind of keeps on building as a team and everything like that. And I love that part of football, being part of the team and everything like that.
Excellent. Thank you, Zach. Coach, 6 starters return on the defensive side, including the guy next to you. Kiave garnered first-team all-conference honors in 2021, as did Jacob Jones, Benjamin Honeyus, and Landry. Give us your thoughts on that stellar defensive core.
Well, last year was one of the best years we've had, and we've been pretty good. We've been 1 or 2, I think, in the league, probably 8 of the last 9 years, and really nationally in scoring defense, top 25 to 30 for several years in a row. So we've been pretty solid year in, year out. We've got a good nucleus. Obviously, we're going to have to do it again. And Ben Miller, sitting right next to me, was a key component of our run defense. I think we were second in the league to Indianapolis, maybe 13th in the country. I think Indianapolis actually led the country a year ago on run defense. They've been pretty stout. And we've got a big hole to fill with Robert Greco, his cohort a year ago. So that'll be something to keep its eye on. But the rest of our front returns intact, and the rest of our secondary too. So we should be able to slow some people down if we stay relatively healthy and continue to work hard.
Ben, you had 36 tackles last season, 5.5 for loss, 2 sacks a season ago. That earned you a spot on the all-GLVC first team. You were joined by so many other defensive stalwarts and all-conference honorees. How do you all, great individually, work together as one cohesive unit?
You know, I think it's like Coach Nez tells us all the time, is just great players want to continue to reprove yourself. So we've kind of built a culture that has now become kind of a standard and something that we expect to continue to prove season after season. So just knowing that this is what is expected, I think it helps just coming together as one, knowing that this is expected and that's what we need to do.
Thank you. Coach, share with us your thoughts on your special team unit. You have two key seniors coming back in the unit on the kicking side with Grant Ross and the return side with Ben. Talk about those two and the others supporting the group.
Yeah. Well, Grant Ross, our kicker, was a pleasant surprise a year ago. Took over from one of our all-time greats, Josh Scheider, and Grant came in. He quietly, patiently bided his time, did his work, and I believe he was 9 for 12 for the season, 9 for 11 in the regular season, and was a first-team all-conference player. So that gives us comfort. And then Ben Thomas, to me, is arguably one of the top, if not the top player in our league. He's a tremendous corner. He can guard. He's an ex-wrestler. He's not afraid to tackle. We can blitz him. He is an unsung hero. I think he was 10 yards on punt return, but when you look at number of returns, he may have doubled up the next best guy. So he's catching them and returning them. So he's been a huge weapon for our football team. Now we've got huge holes to fill with Casey Wojciechowski, that you don't know his name, was our long snapper, and for 4 years he never had a bad one. So that's been a point of emphasis, no question, last spring. And our punter, Taylor Cornish, I think has been the best punter over a 3 or 4 year period. Was, I think, second team all-league. We thought first, but he's certainly been a great player for us, and we've historically are 1-2 in net punting. So I think our kicking game is certainly at the forefront of work to be done yet through training camp for certain.
Finally, Coach, before we let you go, talk about your schedule and give us your thoughts on what's ahead this fall.
Yeah, we're 15-1 over the last 16 games, and we're scheduling wins. We're scheduling good folks. We could easily be 8-8. This year's no different. When you look at open up in Findlay, Ohio, they've had a 7, 8, 9, even 10-win season 4 or 5 years in a row. That's a tough start. South Dakota School of Mines was 7-4 last year with Charlie Floor. Their head coach was a longtime OC at Northwest Missouri State, tremendously well coached. And then you've got Saginaw Valley, who took Ferris State to the overtime, I think, a year ago. They think they should have won the ball game 8-3, followed by Wayne State, where Tyrone Wheatley's coming from the Oakland Raiders, one of the Michigan's all-time great players at the university. So you could be 0-4. 1-3, 2-2, 3-1. So it's going to be business as usual. We've found a way to win some of those close games, and that'll be certainly a key for the entire season. I think Zach said earlier, hey, right now we just need to be 1-0 in your opener, and then go from there. Let the rest of your goals and stuff kind of naturally occur. So it'll be a difficult start, be a fun start, be a challenging start, and our guys will be excited to tee it up and see where we're at here in 2023.
Well, gentlemen, thank you so much for joining us today on GLVC SN, and best of luck to your team this year.